In 2020, I turned 50, and I had big plans for a big party. I would invite every incredible woman I know so she could meet other incredible women I know, because I love how women connect. And unfortunately, at that time, it was the COVID shutdown. So I didn't get my party, and I'm hoping it's all right if you'll allow me. I brought a little cake. So we let this party stand in for that party. Thank you. First, let me express my incredible and deep gratitude to the entire Salt Lake Chamber staff. Their team has gone above and beyond to make this moment memorable for me and my family. And congratulations to the amazing Pathfinder winners. You're also incredibly inspirational. And I'm privileged to be part of some incredible teams at Clyde companies, people who are here today and who show up every day to build our mission of building a better community. I'm privileged to be part of a great family as well. I'm skipping ahead on my script because I'm so nervous. Okay, we're gonna, okay. My heart's been deeply moved by the warm welcome of this group of ATHENAs here. They are mentors and teachers and examples in so many ways, and precious friends as well. So I'm grateful to them. And I'll remain ever grateful for their wisdom, as well as Palmer DePaulis, Ted Wilson, Sherry Dew, Bob Henry, Darius Gray, Jeff Strong, Sharon Eubank, Mike Levitt, Rich McKeon, David Magleby, and Bud Scruggs, all who have been tremendous mentors and friends. And my rich collection of precious friends who are my family by choice and extraordinary former colleagues have anchored me, and many are here, and I thank you for being here for me today. My parents' encouragement and work ethic, it gave me hope, and I'm so grateful for my family here today. My aunts, Etheline and Mavany, my niece, Kate, my 6 grandchildren represented by my granddaughter, Aria. She's 9, and she's a warrior princess who didn't miss a beat when I asked her if she knew who Athena was. She then gave me a Wikipedia explanation of Athena for about 5 minutes. And my amazing children, this is the hard part, Tate, Jace and his wife, Sierra, Kenna, and Alyssa, warriors in their own right. And being their mother has been my greatest honor and adventure. And my Eric Charles. I would not be who I am without my farm boy from Idaho and my Jimmy Stewart, who has been the perfect sous chef and campaign wingman for the last 36 years, and a consummate gentleman, and my full partner in life. So I have to admit, Athena, it feels a bit of a stretch to me because she is mythical and powerful and a wise warrior who would likely not wear mismatched shoes to the federal courthouse or freeze breast milk for her 1-pound preemie or coordinate the Kaysville carpool from Bengaluru. But those are my realities. So I didn't want to create a mirage or a false standard for anyone here today. Let's be clear today about what is myth and what is illusion, and what is real and what is true. Today I want you to know this. My career is not the result of building a career. My career is the result of building a life. So the first myth number 1, that there's a perfect career path. I was the oldest of 6. We moved 13 times growing up, and I was gangly and wild-haired, mostly feral, while my dad was out of town for work and my mom worked 3 jobs to make ends meet. I graduated high school with several scholarships, some for policy debate, but BYU offered the best, and reluctantly I came to Provo. I married a week before I turned 19. I had my first baby a month before I turned 21. And I graduated college at 23. I ran political campaigns between pregnancy, kids in tow. Kenna campaigned for Gary Herbert from her infancy, while Alyssa, age 3, handed out flyers. We paid Jace and Alyssa one year $20 to wear sandwich boards at the state GOP convention so Eric and I could get elected alternative delegates to the national convention. and I toted Tate in my backpack while I managed a local house race. Later, I negotiated a remarkably novel and part-time role as the deputy director at the Department of Community and Culture and learned so much about policy and stakeholders from Palmer to Paulus. And then I went to the Department of Workforce Services, also part-time, and was tapped by Governor Herbert to be a deputy chief of staff, communications director, and spokesperson. That was my first full-time job after college. I was 40 years old. To make that decision, we held 2 family meetings, and then our kids pitched in, and Eric took over the carpool, groceries, and laundry, and I paid someone to clean the bathrooms. In the governor's office, I refined my ability to speak truth to power, respectfully, directly, and candidly, and some days I was better at it than others. After the governor's office, Elders Tom Perry and Todd Christofferson offered me a post at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. In public affairs, I worked on some of the most challenging issues we face as a community. And then I submitted my first job application in 25 years for the Director of Institutional Messaging and the Head of Global Branding. In that role, I saw a team who, over a groundbreaking research project in 45 languages and 60 countries, and a global workforce exceeding 20,000 people. I was one of 8 female directors in the world, and I felt it. From there, I went to nanotech and learned a lot about patents and the FDA. And then 3 women whom I tremendously respect separately reached out over 3 days, suggesting I challenge our sitting senior US Senator. Less than an hour after that third call, our nation's capital was under attack. And with tears streaming, I thought, I want my country back. I spent the next 15 months crisscrossing Utah with incredible volunteers and supporters. And when the campaign concluded, I went on my annual silent retreat and came home with guiding principles for whatever came next. 3 days later, Jeremy Hafen phoned. Clyde Companies checked all the boxes for me, but talk about imposter syndrome. Allie in a hard hat? But Clyde Companies has this uniquely strong value set, a strategic direction that is clear, and a commitment to community that runs deep. My portfolio includes branding and marketing, communications, policy and politics, community engagement, and philanthropy, and the hard hat fits. The perfect career path, it's an illusion, it's a myth. My path and your path will be beautifully unique and messy and nonlinear. May we all savor the beautiful moments in that journey. And myth number 2, there's a ladder to the top. We live in uncertain times, and I don't have to tell you this. A historic federal restructure and shutdown, political polarization, and cults of personality that suck the air and sometimes humanity out of productive policy dialogue. A volatile economy, historically high rates of depression, anxiety, and burnout. The good news is we've overcome worse in 1929, but it took a war. It took a war to get us out of that. So what do we do? Is there a way out? Friends, the antidote to uncertainty and tension can be found to your left and to your right. The real good news, the truth, is this. We have each other. We have each other. There is no quick fix for uncertainty, and there may be no ladder straight to the top of your career, but the solution for both is the certainty of a powerful network of other good people with talent, insight, access, and encouragement. And in that network, we look out for each other. We lift others up, and they, in turn, lift us. And I'm not just talking about rungs on a career ladder. I'm also talking about getting through hard things. During my 3rd year with Governor Herbert, I was pulled out of a meeting when an EMT called. He'd been at my Alyssa's apartment 4 times in 3 days. She was in crisis. She was 21. My friend Allison Gamble at the Capitol Preservation Board looked out for me and Alyssa. Allison was the transplant recipient who knew health challenges herself, and she offered Alyssa an internship. I was running full throttle, 16-hour days, my brain always on. And then our beautiful, whip-smart, loud, and loyal Alyssa Nicole unexpectedly passed through life's veil. And everything came to a full stop when our world was turned inside out and upside down. Everything I thought I understood or believed shattered. Our friends and our family and so many incredible friends and colleagues held us up with love and prayers. Elise Christensen, Nick Dunn, and Nate McDonald kept the governor on message. Senior staff John Pierce and Mike Maurer, who both know well about hard things, stopped by regularly. Rod Decker, a crunchy outside, squishy inside political reporter, provided a silent, reassuring hug. And so many others, including the governor, Lieutenant Governor Greg Bell, Derek Miller, and Fran Stoltz, were so patient with my return and a mental fog that just would not lift. Just a few examples of the tremendous goodness and generosity that result from authentic relationships of respect, understanding, and friendship. Now, what I hope is clear, these are human relationships, not transactions, but points of connection that are real and meaningful. In my professional career, I've only applied for one job. The others were a result of relationships. Relationships plus the right time, plus the right place. So what am I saying? We can all build relationships intentionally and unselfishly. Look out for others, cheer them on, and love them, not looking for a ladder to the top. Instead, let us build meaningful connections, and our lives will have greater purpose and beauty, and good things will happen, both for your career and for our country. Myth number 3, build your career every day. I retreat to the mountains annually. It's where I deconstruct and rebuild myself. It started one evening with a haircut. For our entire marriage, I have cut Eric Charles' hair. An aunt gave me a 10-minute tutorial about 36 years ago, the first time that mullets were cool. Now, for most of our marriage, we actually could pay someone, a well-trained professional, to do it. So 9 years ago, I declared that for me to continue as his pseudo-stylist, I would like a silent retreat. And Eric was absolutely incredulous. "We're not going to talk?" he asked. "Oh no," I said, "not we, just me." That was the first few years, and Eric may have been a little confused as I left. But now, he knows when I return, I will come home with clarity, centeredness, and a deeper commitment to things that matter. Here's how it works. For 3 days, I focus on my inner life. I turn off electronics, I walk in the woods, I converse with God, and I listen to my body. I do yoga, get sunshine, document gratitude, and count my blessings. I sleep until I wake up. I only eat when I'm hungry. I study inspirational texts and listen to the trees. And I learn so much. Then I leave with guiding principles to guide my next year. I believe that we are each a divine being, and that divinity is cosmic, it's universal, intrinsic, and organic. It's also true that divine beings have stuff, heavy stuff, hard stuff. Every person needs healing, and every person needs contemplative space and light to identify our why, to hone in on what matters, and to navigate how. Solace requires honest introspection, a commitment to your inner life. My favorite poet-philosopher, David Whyte, writes, "Solace is the art of asking the beautiful question of ourselves, of our world, and of one another, often fiercely difficult and unbeautiful moments." When our daughter passed on, I prayed and pleaded to know how to move forward, and the answer came from within. A divine voice told me, "Be gentle with yourself. Do something every day that will bring light into your life." At a dark time, seeking light made all the difference. Through one's inner life, one finds light, purpose, and meaning, and truth, and relationship, and healing. Today we're talking about what is real and true. And you might think you're building your career every day, but that's the illusion. Every choice is a contract with creation. And I ask myself, what are you doing that sabotages whom you're meant to become? The truth is, you create the world in which you live. You create the world in which you live. You build your life every day. You build your life every day. If I could talk to my 25-year-old self, I would tell her to recognize the world's illusions, to build her life by savoring the beautiful moments in a journey, building meaningful connections, and focusing on her inner life. And I might add a few other tips, like your mind, body, and spirit, they're inseparably linked. So be careful how you wire your brain and treat your body. Claim your voice and claim your power. And power isn't what you think it is. And in 2023, there will be a coconut cream Dr. Pepper Zero that will blow your mind. I'll close with my birthday wish. For our world, I wish for healers. And for our country, I wish for weavers. And for our hearts, I wish for divine wells that never run dry. Thank you.